Okay. I don't like this one. I don't. The internet's a scary place, and humanity isn't what it used to be. Western society and civilization is crumbling because of lack of public trust. And lack of public trust is inspired by corporations that sell us this idealism for profit and this security for profit. And the bankers, they support these politicians and they make, exorbitant claims. Big, huge claims, I can change the world. I can solve all your problems. Please vote for me. I got everything under control. I can help bring the power back to you, the people. You see, I know exactly what you want. And what you want is safety and security and a life in which you don't feel persecuted. Bless you. Bless your heart. You see, there's different ways that psychopathy invades the human mind. The worm of society, the snakes of the sinners. And I'm not going to outright say it, but this is scary stuff. There's people out there, whether we like to admit it or not, that do extreme body modifications to themselves because they have dissociative identity disorders and they have body dysmorphias and they get led, by psychopathic doctors who just seek power, right? And they seek manipulation and they see other people and patients as objects to be manipulated, to be molded like a piece of clay. And they destroy the scientific method and objectivity, and they change the definitions in the DSM, and they change the definitions on Wikipedia to suit themselves, and they corrupt the information, and they create their own story. Okay, this is what communism always does. This is how it always smacks the face of intelligence. And we can't have this anymore. We live with the internet. We have the human network. AI is a false prophet, if you ask me. We don't need AI. We need smarter human beings. And we have the internet now, and it's so quick and easy to use that even a monkey can do it. We don't need monkeys. We need more intelligent people. We need a human family and connection. We don't need this corruption of society that exists. These talking heads, I get tired of this. Everyone that's on YouTube, I'm so pissed off with all of you. You understand that? You have such good lives. You have such good lives. And it came so easy to you within a few years because someone saw the potential in you. Say, we can make some good money off of this guy. Yeah, this is going to be really good. Oh, I can't wait to see them suffer in front of me. Yeah, I'm going to love that. I'm going to love watching them suffer and everything blow up on them. I'm going to watch them and I'm going to taunt them and I'm just going to eat up all their pain and all their suffering and I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Just like that. See, that's psychopathy, narcissistic psychopathy, all in one right there by that behavior. And there's, and what else erodes public trust? What else erodes public trust? The inability for men to find women that are suitable for them and on the same level, right? Of the same intelligence, of the same caring and capacity, and of the same cultural touchstones. So that you have something to talk about. So that you don't show up with them at the dinner table, at the first date, and they're just going, you ask them how they're doing, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So are you going to talk to me or not? Are we going to create some sort of connection, or am I going to be talking to you through a phone for the rest of my life? Because that's a tragedy. That's a real tragedy. You know, if you're going to talk about in the context of propaganda, you know, so going to go back in reference to the Obama era with Shepard Fairey and the hope and the change, and it was a really good narrative. Like, credit to them, you know, kudos for coming up with that. But what happened after the fact was complete and utter disaster with supporting the banks and too big to fail, all of these companies that overextended themselves. Because the thing is that the cycle of life, right, is a cycle. And so is humanity that follows this life. We need to have things that live and die as symbology within the society to remind us that we will also die. We're not going to live forever. And to live forever is sacrilege. The only way to live forever is through art. Okay? Creative people are the ones that get to live forever with enough effort. And I've been working for my entire life. And so when I see people out there and then just throw the goods that other people have made away, be gone with you. We've had enough. Don't need this scheisse in our society. It's time for truth and beauty, not temporary booty. Okay? So, like, to culminate different things of the history of propaganda, you know, this is why I'm doing it. Because when these things, these mechanisms of society and this structure that men built, okay? So if you want to reference some psychologists, psychotherapists on YouTube, they know who they are, right? Systemized, organized. In order to have creation and spontaneity, you need both in balance, all right? When one outrules the other, then it's disaster for all of us. We're not a program, and we're not animals either, right? Not in the same capacity that, say, a mongoose is. We're much different. We are or to reference, let's go with Our Lady Peace, right? Spiritual machines. We are the vessel for a spirit that exists in this simulation of reality, right? Because if you want to go by the philosophy, right, you can't use the mind to interpret the world, because you use the world to interpret the mind, and vice versa, right? Subjectivity, objectivity, yada 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 yada. You can. I'm not completely versed on this stuff anymore, but please go and research it, right? Go look up St. Thomas Aquinas. Go look up Aristotle and Socrates and Diogenes and did I say St. Thomas Aquinas? Oh, yeah. Let's see, Descartes, Stuart Mill, Hegel, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, Sartre. Those are the ones that I could name off the top of my head. And I bet most of you can't even do that. Shame on you. And how dare you think you know what it is to be alive. I'm going to steal from Robin Williams here. You could tell me from a video what it looks and what it feels like. Or say what it looks and what it feels like to be in and staring up at the Sistine Chapel with 3D goggles on your face. But you can't tell me what it's like to love a woman and wake up to her every day. And that's the problem. That's why I'm so freaking angry, okay? I have a reason to be angry as an artist and as an engineer. When stupid people get in my way, I'm tired of it. You know, I tried to be nice to all of you. I really did. But when corrupted individuals seek out incestuous relationships in communities and with each other, you know, diversity and exclusion. Diversity and inclusion is doublespeak because it's a club for gay people and gay people only. Sick and tired of this BS. And there's so many other people out there that are just like me, and of older generations, and of the newer generations, that are tired of this stuff. How many women have suffered because of dating applications and third wave feminism? How many of you? How many of you in your late 30s don't have a man and have children, or can't find a man because you don't want children? Propaganda. Okay? Weaponized art. We've been all hijacked in this current year, 2023, and before this, within the past 25 years, if not longer, with the introduction of PC culture. Okay? And this was all done to streamline the advance of certain interest groups and businesses that took advantage of gay people and their willingness to serve so that they could advance themselves higher in social status for recognition. And the same with minorities. They took advantage of them. And they put us all into slavery. Enough is enough. We can't have this in the modern world. We just can't. Because everybody suffers now in digital prisons, reality prisons. Okay? That's what the Matrix was about. Wake up. Okay? Take the red pill. And the red pill is a vitamin. Okay? It is all the essential minerals and nutrients that your body needs, so that you can rise to intelligence and the capability to think for yourself. Because I can't think for you. I can't do all of this without you staring at this camera and listening to me blast you with my words. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. I wanted to be a pilot from the moment that I could eat grass. And people got in my way because they saw how intelligent I was. They saw how compassionate I was, that I had to hide my own personality from myself and act like a stupid person so that I could get ahead in life. Because intelligence is threatening. It's threatening. You know what leads to pedophilia? Gay people. Because how do straight people reproduce? Through healthy sexuality. How do gay people reproduce? By molestation. And there's plenty of testimony out there to attribute to that. The grooming has to stop. And it should have stopped 10 years ago when it started. But the propaganda hijacked young people's minds through the universities and completely destroyed any chance they had of having a good life. Because now they live in such mental torture, such angst. Who am I? Who am I in face of this mirror, this black mirror? Okay? What is my identity? Should I listen to this person? Because they seem to be smarter than my own parents. And my parents just don't want to listen to, oh, you don't know what's going on, Dad. You don't know what's going on, Mom. You're not on the internet. You don't understand. I don't care if I make enemies by saying these things, because the truth has to come out. It has to come out of the closet. Okay? And I don't hate you for falling for this propaganda, because it is so powerful with this medium that we have now, with the social media, right? The social network, and the means by which it uses technology, the back end, algorithms, and so on and so forth, that it creates these echo chambers that you only see what you want to see, and you only receive what you want to hear. So I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear, because what's the phrase? If you don't like someone, tell them what they want to hear. If you love someone, Tell them what they need to hear. And what you need to hear is that you're victims of propaganda. All of us. Because what happens when you become a corrupted individual? When you're questioning your identity? And then the soldiers of fortune, the emotional hitmen come forth into the fore and they say, I know exactly what to do for you. Here, you're gay. Did you know that? Did you know that by your tendencies, in your childhood? Let's unpack that. Well, here's some medication. Here you go. I got the perfect solution for you. You're depressed? Have some SSRIs. Oh, you like to play with dolls when you were a young man? You have 2 sisters, you're the youngest of 3? Here's some hormones. Oh, your mother wanted a daughter. Let's give her one. There's a joke in the art world that if you want to become an artist, you better get on your knees. I'll let you extrapolate the rest of that. Because I ain't swallowing nobody's business to get where I want to go. And where I wanted to go was become a Hornet pilot, a Hornet driver. But people that were corrupted got in my way and insulted me. So I turned my back in disgust on the military. It's not their fault. It's not the higher ups. But the fact is that, they didn't necessarily know that this was going on. Some of them did. And they turned a blind eye because they're just like, I don't want to have to deal with that. This old world mentality. Or there's some sort of, cronyism going on. The same way it happens with the military industrial complex when higher military officials want to retire, they'll go to the defense industry and vice versa. The same with politics. Anyone that's a CEO or higher up in the strata of the society that has millions or billions of dollars behind them and their families and haven't worked a single day in their freaking life, by the way, okay? They don't know what it takes to put a nut and bolt together, what it takes to build a Spitfire from the ground up. That's why I'm so tired. I'm so sick and tired of being in this room, in this echo chamber, staring at this computer screen without a wife. I made my sacrifices to become a professional and to be one of the best aircraft mechanics in this country, if not North America. I know I'm not the only one that has lived this life, wondering when I'm going to get my next contract, wondering if I'm going to be fired the next day because of something I said or something I didn't do, or because I made a mistake. How many people are in temporary jobs that don't know when their next paycheck is coming through? How many people are working right now that have to go to the food bank? And they don't deserve to go to they don't have to go to the food bank. They shouldn't have to, because someone up top doesn't want them to succeed. Right? The destruction of the middle class over the past 25 years, in conjunction with this homosexual propaganda, right? This gay washing, right? Because the idea is to make gay people into the perfect soldiers of fortune, because you don't have a central identity. You're always questioning, so you're much easier to corrupt. And the same with any kind of racism or divisional politics and policy. How do you think I became one of the smartest people that I know? I went to work. What do you want? And what I want is a free and stable society. where anyone can come and make the best of themselves, like I have, through hard work and labor. Because it ain't easy, man. It's not easy to just build a bridge and get over it. The propaganda has always persisted and existed. And, you know, this is not a summary, because we got so much more to do with this. We've got so much more to get into details with this, as a series of video essays to support my thesis. Because I'm going to get my doctorate, whether it's from Utrecht University or somebody else, because I deserve that. We're in a new era of information. And without me, there's no you. And without you, there's no me. I wanted to be the first fighter pilot with an arts degree. And when I was in Sault Ste. Marie, this is true, I have an eyewitness. I was sitting at the desk doing all my paperwork before I went and touched the airplane, because that's what you're supposed to do. You don't touch the freaking airplane until the paperwork is done. Simple procedure. Absolutely simple. You don't just leave it and push it off to the side. Because the thing is that with aircraft, is that every nut and bolt, every rivet matters. You know, to put it to someone that has used a firearm, have you ever taken a shot that you couldn't take back? Have you ever held a life in your hands? Because I have. I've held millions of people's lives in my hands by the work that I've done. And so has every other aircraft mechanic and person that touches an aircraft or designs an aircraft. Just like a doctor. Because we are doctors. We're engineers. We deserve the title that's on the wall with that plaque, with the ring, right? Because the ring touches the paper, every signature that you make, so you know the weight of responsibility of when something fails. Because people die when we make mistakes. Do you know what that's like? Because the majority of you out there don't know what that's like. You don't. So don't tell me what to do. Okay? You don't have the privilege and the right. You don't have the experience to tell me what to do. You don't have the skill. You don't have the competency. And you don't have the authority to tell me that I don't deserve my license, that I don't deserve to be an aircraft mechanic because of my skin color or my sex or my sexual orientation. Because this is Canada, okay? And Canada is not supposed to be the home of propaganda. It's supposed to be the land of opportunity like the United States. I'm just so tired of exploitation. And I'm tired of the internet being used to propagate degenerate behavior. Right? And for you, the ones who commit these acts, these affronts, these degenerate acts out in the open, right? Exposing yourself to children, dancing in front of them like clowns, saying, "Oh, it's okay." Yeah, you're like John Gacy. You know that? You're like a serial killer. You're just one step away from doing that. Because that's where it was going to go. It was going to become, it was, and it has become a genocide. The great replacement, if you want to call it that. Though that's just a theory. It's just a theory. I don't have a lot of evidence to support it, but there's other people out there that do. Because the human network of intelligence and intelligence agencies have been watching the entirety of humanity completely destroy itself. And you know what? They're tired of this too. You think that they want to watch other people commit these acts and kill each other? Or to mutilate themselves? And they can do nothing about it except watch? You know? To see the human trafficking go on? To see the drug trade continue? They got better things to do. They got to worry about international problems. Not clandestine bullshit. The military doesn't want to have to deal with these problems. It doesn't want to have to support it. But they laid down and said, okay, fine, because we're just tired of dealing with these people just, go off the handle and go full Bruce Nuclear on us. Okay, fine, their corporal, sergeant, ma'am, sir. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to do with your life, it's your school bus. Go ahead and crash it. There's a lot of people that just got tired of being treated like crap because of their position. And people looking at them, especially lifers in the military. How'd you get there? How do you deserve your rank and position? What have you done for our country that I haven't, that I deserve? You came from a position of privilege. I want where you are because I deserve it. I'm entitled to that. I have suffered. My whole family before this have suffered. You know what? Everybody suffers. Life is suffering. And that's the propaganda. Or what the propaganda does away with. It does away with the fact that everybody suffers. Existence is suffering. And Christianity recognizes that as much as Buddhism. So does Judaism. So does Islam. Right? I'm a very well-educated person because, yes, I recognize that I had opportunities that other people didn't have. But you know what? It's a responsibility, just like wealth, to take what you learn and rise to the very top or as high as you can get to bring other people up. Because otherwise, it's a sin to do nothing while the evils of the world just persist. And I know that by putting this on YouTube, someone's going to profit off of my suffering. And they'll suppress my views. They'll shadow ban me. They'll make sure that I don't get what I deserve. Because they don't want competition. They want to be the monopoly that controls the whole mechanism of the new society on the internet. This post-industrial society. And replace people with AI. Make people into drones, right? Asexual drones. Because this is some seriously weird stuff, I'm telling you. But there's people out there that think that they can play God with humanity. That they can use genetic therapies, gene therapies with RNA injections to program people into biomechanical machines. And do away with spiritual connection and with human connection, so that nobody has social skills anymore. And then we're put into these echo chambers with VR goggles on in the new reality, the Matrix. There's people out there that want to do that. Say, taking virtual reality to way too far. Virtual reality and augmented reality is a great tool for learning, but it's not reality. It's not real. Relationships on the internet are not real because you're dealing with a phone like I am, right? And I know it's a bit weird for me to stare over here a little bit like there instead of the camera. Now, someone could say, okay, everything I say can and will be used against me in some FISA court. But you know what? If I die, the whole internet dies. It'll go with me. I won't be the one to press the button. Someone else will. If I disappear, do you want to call me a conspiracy theorist and you want to take me down? You want to degrade my character and go after my family? This is the new era. There are no secrets. Anything can and will be used against you. You see? Because I was crazy enough to crown myself king of the internet. That's enough for now. Think about the things I've said. Because we have big enemies. We have huge enemies. And one of the biggest ones is pedophilia. Because it destroys society. Take care.